Okay guys, this is your girl Polish Beauty back with another video. If you are new to my channel, just know that we are everything makeup from drugstore to high end. We even throw in some skincare, some hauls, tutorials, reviews, all those types of things in between and above. So please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the video. So in this video, we're going to be using some new drugstore products that I can't tell you my thoughts before we get there. But we're going to be using the new, well, it's not new, but it's going to be my first time using it. And it's the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. And my shade is Warm Caramel. Will it focus? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, that's my shade. It's Warm Caramel. And then we're also going to be using the NYX Born to Glow Foundation. And mine is the shade Warm Honey. And then I think we're also going to be using a primer that is not drugstore. We're going to be using the Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. And this is not a drugstore primer, but I absolutely adore this primer. So if you guys want to see me use these products, I also did a eyeshadow tutorial with the NARS Skin Deep palette. That's limited edition. But the focus of this palette was the drugstore palette, was the drugstore products. But if you guys want to see how I got to this look, make sure that you continue to watch the video. But right before we start the video, make sure that you reach down and you hit the subscribe button. Now, we're about to get into it. Alright you guys, the first product I'm going to start with is I'm going to be using the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. And honestly, this concealer may be a little bit too light for me. This is in the shade Deep Caramel. So I'm going to set my eyes with it. I usually don't set my eyes with nothing else besides Too Faced. I mean, blend it out good. It's smooth. I can see some coverage, but I really will have to get into that after once we start to conceal under the eyes and stuff like that. So I'm just setting this with some translucent powder. It's the Pretty Vulgar translucent powder. So while we let that sit, I'm going to use the Tarte Base Tape and prime with. You saw me unbox a bigger size in my boxy, but I also have a smaller size that I had as a sample, and it's the Tarte Double Tape Base Tape Beauty. It's a hydrating base primer. And so before I dove into that and used that, I really wanted to like use this one, because I don't want to use that one and then I don't like it and that could be put in a giveaway. So let's just start with the tiny one. It feels good and it smells so good. It smells like a little bit coconut. It kind of reminds me of the Too Faced what is that? It's the Hangover Primer. It kind of reminds me of the Too Faced Hangover Primer. It is definitely hydrating. Okay. So we're going to let that sit. And so while that sit, we're going to move on to our eyeshadow. I honestly am going to be doing a basic eyeshadow today, an everyday eyeshadow. And I am going to be using a palette that is limited edition. So I don't know if you guys will be able to find it. But it's one of my favorite palettes and I haven't used it in a while. And so I want to start trying to use some of my old stuff instead of buying some new stuff. So, but you can find these colors anywhere. You could definitely find these beautiful, beautiful colors anywhere. It's beautiful. But we're just going to do a little basic eyeshadow look with it. I'm going to start with they don't have shade names. I think they have some shade names on the back of them. So I think this one is Icon Calendar Girl, or shoot, I don't know. I think this is Calendar Girl. And we're going to just take that and we're going to take this shade into the crease. So we're just going to buffer that out a little bit. Just blending it up. Okay, so I am going to find me a flat shader brush. I'm going to wet this with me some Fix Plus. And we're going to go into one of the shimmer shades. I think I'm going to go into this copper shade. I think it's Whipped. So we're going to go into this shade right here. Now you can find a palette like this. I actually think Too Faced just come out with a neutral tone type palette. I think it's very similar to this. So you can find these neutral tone palettes pretty much anywhere. And I definitely think you should have one in your collection. If you don't have a palette like this in your collection, you need it, okay? We're not doing a cut crease today because this is just a soft neutral type look. Okay, so we're going to take the same brush that we used earlier and we're going to go into the deeper shade in the palette, and it's going to be this shade right here. And we're just going to take that on the outskirts. Blend it up into the crease just a little bit, create some depth. We are lightly, gently patting and gently blending it. If you go too heavy, the color will come up a lot deeper. So I am going to use my color switch. You guys, I don't even know if you guys notice I have this. I'm not quite sure where I got this one from. Either Shop Miss A or somewhere, but it's got a little sponge in here and I use it all the time. And I actually keep it in my little drawer over here in my vanity. So as I'm doing my makeup, I just keep this little drawer open and I just go in and I just swatch it on there. So I'm going to go back into the lighter shade that we went into earlier, which is this one. And I'm going to take it like in between the deeper color and the dark color to soften it up. Okay. So, at this point, I like to go ahead and do my liner and my mascara. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do. I don't think I'm not going to do a wing liner today. I should have had my liner out. Because I don't want this to be a too jazzy of a look. I want to kind of tone it down, an everyday look. So just let me locate my liner. Okay, so I lined my eyes and did my mascara. I am going to try to do as much of this look as I possibly can on camera. So the next part that we're going to be using is going to be the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Foundation. And I'm going to go onto Ulta's website and read you the claims of this foundation. This is in the shade Warm Honey. So I'm going to go to Ulta's website and I'm going to read you the claims of this foundation. Okay. So it says, we can't even. The NYX Professional Makeup Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation is so glorious. It's available in all-inclusive range of 45 truly flattering shades. Our convertible formula delivers buildable coverage and natural radiant finish that lasts. This natural glow foundation tube is the key to creating truly radiant look. Whether you are looking for foundation for dry skin or foundation for oily skin, the liquid foundation blends like a dream with buildable coverage, and works with your skin to help create smooth, even tone looks. Featuring vegan formula with no animal derived ingredients or byproducts. All NYX professional makeup products are proudly cruelty free and PETA certified. So this is a buildable medium coverage that lasts all day. Best foundation for a dewy glow and a cruelty free. Now I recently tried a foundation that I absolutely adore, and it's the CoverGirl Skin Milk. So I wonder how the NYX Born to Glow will compare to the CoverGirl. So we're going to go ahead and dip in it. So now I'm going to swatch this on my hand a little bit just so you guys can kind of see the shade of it. And I did order all of these online, so you know, if my color match isn't, the coverage is definitely has more coverage than the CoverGirl. I can tell that right now. You see that? It definitely has more coverage than the CoverGirl. But I love the finish of the CoverGirl. You know. So. But yeah, I did pick all these foundations online. So I didn't go in the store and swatch them. So if they're not a perfect shade match, or if they are a perfect shade match, then I'm great. But if they're not, then be mindful that I did purchase all mine online. I mean, I think it's blending out good. I think the color is a pretty decent color. Is it very much so? I can work with it. Let me tell you how much this foundation cost. This foundation cost $10, and I think the CoverGirl was what, $11.99. So they're both right there in the same price range. Okay, so the next product we're going to go into that's new to me is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. We're going to conceal under our under eyes and conceal our face with it. As I said, this is in the shade Deep Caramel. If you guys want to see a swatch of this on top of the foundation, because I swatched the foundation on his hand, you can kind of see. And the e.l.f. is a 16-hour camo concealer. I think this is supposed to be a full coverage concealer. It says camouflage those peaky spots under eye circles with this high coverage, crease resistant 16-hour wear concealer. So I think this is supposed to be a full coverage concealer. It is definitely a highlight shade for me, honey. I think that it has some coverage. The coverage is there, but I think you'll need to build it up, add some more layers if you want absolutely full coverage. Because when it blends out kind of sheer. But it goes on pretty thick. I actually want to add a little bit more. I can say that it's not as full coverage as the Too Faced, but if you layer it up, you could probably definitely get that full coverage. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set this because I don't want it moving no more. I'm gonna use the Pretty Vulgar translucent powder. I think I got this in a Boxy or a Ipsy. You guys comment down below and let me know what's your favorite concealer and what is your absolutely favorite foundation, high-end or drugstore. I want a lot of drugstore because we're using drugstore, but if you haven't been using any drugstore products and your product is a high-end, just let me know what's your favorite product right now as far as concealer and foundation? Okay, so we are going to brush this away. So I'm going to brush this off and set the rest of the face with my Sephora Micro Smooth Baked Face Compact. And this is in the shade Matte Tan. And since this is a very natural look, I'm not going to contour, cream contour. I'm just going to use bronzer. Okay, you guys. I know you guys always see me spray my face with the Morphe spray. But it's like after I set my eyes and after I set the rest of my face, I get like so powdery. I don't think it's showing up on camera. But I like to infuse my products with this. I like to use this just to take away the initial powdery effect before I add on some more products. It's just what I like to do. So before I bronze, contour, I like to do that. I'm going to use these Lovecraft palettes, the bronzer and the blush. I got both of these from my Ipsy. And I had canceled my Ipsy subscription. But I just re-signed up, so I'm getting my Ipsy back. I'm going to use the middle shade, which is Sunvuva. And you guys know that both of these products do contain talc. But I love this bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers. I have high-end bronzers that I don't use. Mostly because they're the wrong shade. But also, this bronzer is very easy to blend. Okay, so we're going to try to use a very subtle blush out of this trio. There are 3 blushes in here. I'm going to go in the middle blush. I think it's called Daphne. It's more of a nudie type blush. And now we have to choose a highlighter. I don't even own a drugstore highlighter, so I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I do. It's the Marc Jacobs Guilty. First, melanated girls, this is beautiful on our skin tone. Now, if you're a lighter, you could definitely still use this product. It was limited edition, so you may be able to find it on Poshmark or one of the other sites. You would just have to go in with a lighter hand. It's kind of a pinkish gold type shade. And it's hands down the most flattering highlighter for my skin tone. And I love it. I'm going to also take this into my inner corners. I'm not going to take a highlighter on my brow bone because this is a very toned down type of look. I'm already popping. I don't need to pop no more. So the next thing I like to do is I use an e.l.f. And I use this pencil like all the time. Like hands down all the time. Let me find it. Okay, here it is. It's just an e.l.f. black liner, and it's just in the shade black, but it's a retractable one. It's not the kind that you have to sharpen. So I don't know if we're gonna focus on this or not, but There we go. So yeah, and it's just a retractable one, and I use this on my bottom line like all the time. It's the only like liner that I've been using. I haven't had my eye on some more liners, you guys, that I want to purchase, but they're a little bit expensive, but you get a lot for your money. So I'm going to take a brush, and I'm going to go into this lighter shade that we was using earlier that we took it to our crease tone, and I'm just going to take that on our bottom lash line. You can also just use a pop of color or something else if you would like to make it pop. So I usually finish off my look with taking some mascara, and right now I am currently using the Benefit and Roller Lash Mascara, and I absolutely love this mascara. So this is the mascara that I am currently using, and I take that on my bottom lash line. You know what? I want to use this lip combo that I did the other day to finish up this lip. So I always prime my lip with a chapstick first. So this is my Nip Slip from Too Faced. So I just put that not all the way to the edges, but just around it, because I'm gonna go in with this dark liner. Okay. And then I took Unbutton, and I went in the center of it. What's that? It's gorgeous. Okay, let me run out to the car and get my gloss, and I'm gonna finish up this lip. Okay, so after I took the Unbutton, I took the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Naked Lip, and I also took that in the center of that one. Okay, and then I took the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Hot Chocolate. I have the mini one because I had the set, but Rihanna has come out with a full size one, and I went over it with this. I mean, don't that look just look so freaking gorgeous? So I'm going to finish up my look. I'm going to add some lashes, and then I'm going to set my makeup with another spray, And I'm going to just take my hair down, and I will be back with the completed look. Alright guys, I am back with my final look. How do you like it? I think I look absolutely gorgeous. Now, let me give you my final thoughts on these products that we use. I think the first product that we used that was new to us was the Double Duty Beauty, the base tape, the Tarte Shape base tape primer. And I think this was the first product that we used that was definitely new to us. Was the base tape primer. My thoughts about this primer, I definitely think that this is a good primer. It is a very hydrating primer. It does remind me of the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I can't give you like, these are first impressions, so I can't say overall, but I think like it is a very good hydrating primer. I think Tarte did a good job with this primer. My first impressions of this primer. The next product that we use, we're going to go into the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Foundation. And this is in the shade Warm Honey. I definitely think that this foundation has more coverage than the CoverGirl foundation. I think if you're looking for coverage, you want to go with the NYX Radiant Glow foundation. It definitely has coverage. My skin definitely looks amazing and flawless right now. I absolutely love it. But as far as the CoverGirl, this versus this, the Clean Fresh, I like the finish of the Clean Fresh foundation. It's less coverage. So this would be more of like a BB cream. I have the CoverGirl, it's the Maybelline BB cream. And I need to put these two against each other. So maybe that's an upcoming video. But I definitely think that you can't go wrong with this. I absolutely love the finish on this. Foundation is amazing, but this foundation definitely has the coverage. I don't know about lastability because it's the first impressions. I think it did a good job for what it done to be a drugstore foundation. I definitely think NYX has a winner on their hand. They also have the Born to Glow concealer. Maybe I'll try that at a later date. I don't know. But if I had to choose between the two, I like the finish on this one. You can't really compare the two because this is a more medium coverage and this is a more thin coverage. It's more of your skin but better. So if you want more coverage, definitely go for the NYX. But I love the finish on this one better. As for the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I can say that the e.l.f. Camo Concealer does have some coverage. But when I compare it to my high-end concealer, the one that I love the most, which is my Too Faced, it doesn't have as much coverage as the Too Faced. And my e.l.f. concealer is in the shade Deep Caramel. It's in the shade Deep Caramel. Trying to see if we can get the camera to focus. So I definitely think it has some concealer. If I had to pit this up against the Wet n Wild, I think the e.l.f. one would win as a drugstore concealer. I definitely think this is a good drugstore concealer. You can't go wrong with it. But it does not have as much as full coverage as some of the higher end, but you can layer it. You can get that coverage. I don't know if it will last 16 hours or not because this is my first impressions. But if it does what e.l.f. says it does, then it will be a great concealer to use. I mean, I like it. As for my look at my lips. Like, this lip combo was everything. I'm just gonna recap what I used on the lips again. So first I used the little dollar lip liner, which was a dark brown lip liner. It's somewhere around here. Then I went in with the shade Nip Slip, and then I went in with Unbutton from Fenty. The Too Faced is the Nip Slip. And then I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Naked Liquid Lip. You probably already have colors similar to these in your lip collection already, so there's no need to go out and purchase this. But I love these products. I don't use this on its own because it's too light for me, but I definitely use this to like ombre out my lips a lot, and I love this shade for that. And then I went over them with the Hot with the hot chocolates from the Fenty Gloss Bomb, and I absolutely think that this was a perfect combination for this look. I think it just pulled everything together for me. So all right, you guys, but right before you go, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you know, leave me some comments down below of your favorite foundation and concealer, drugstore preferably.